Hey guys, I am Stuart Breeding, Master Trainer here at Studio 2 in the greatest city in the world, Nashville, Tennessee. And I want to talk to you guys a little bit today about caloric expenditure. And it seems like every time I pull up a different gym in town, or I get a flyer somebody's just opened up in town, every time I look at a different new workout that's come out, the very first thing I see people talking about is 1,000 calories an hour, burn up to 1,200 calories an hour, burn 2,500 calories in an hour. It's this ongoing mindset and conversation about expending a bunch of calories in an hour. Now, not only is this kind of thinking unscientific and unfounded, it is incredibly unsafe. And Dr. Tiff and I have spent a lot of years researching this and have done countless videos on this topic, and I wanted to kind of get back into this conversation again and beat this drum until you guys really get it through your head what it takes to get results once and for all. And caloric expenditure is a big topic, and I want to go through several issues that are related to that kind of thinking and that kind of training. So the first thing I want to talk about is the math. If it were as easy as a math problem, and let's just say you're burning 1,000 calories inside of an hour of every workout, 3,500 calories is a pound of body fat. That's what a pound of fat would add up to in caloric density. So the mindset is, if I burn more calories, I burn more fat. And that's what everybody is thinking. That's what trainers are thinking. That's what fitness concepts are selling. And that's what they're regurgitating to you guys out there in the public who really don't know any better and are listening to their expert opinions on this. Well, if that is true, and let's just say for now it is true, let's say after 30 days you've been training in burning 1,000 calories a day. You're on the treadmill, you're huffing and puffing, and you get done and you've burned 1,000 calories that day. At the end of a month, you've burned 30,000 calories. So we're talking about 8.5 pounds, and we'll just round it out to about 10 pounds. You've lost 10 pounds. Now, this is where it starts to get a little weird. If you're using a bathroom scale at home, you very well might have lost 10 pounds. Let's say you didn't add a cutthroat diet to that also. You just went in and burned 1,000 calories. You didn't add or delete anything from your diet. You're just burning 1,000 calories a day. You've lost 10 pounds. But here's the problem, folks. Unless we're looking at body composition, and that means how much muscle tissue and how much body fat you had when you started, how do you know that what you lost was body fat? You have no idea of knowing. So you're probably getting all these high fives from your trainers and people that are going to your class with you. Oh, yay, you've lost 10 pounds. But there is a really good chance that you might have lost half of that in muscle tissue. So we're going to get a little bit more into the science of what's happening, how the energy systems are processing, specifically at higher heart rates, and the danger with this kind of mentality, and probably what is happening to you as you're burning through these 1,000-calorie gauntlet workouts. So the first thing we need to look at is energy systems. The body has many energy systems, but for us, for simplistic sake, for education purposes, we talk to our clients about two main energy systems. Fat metabolism, and let's just think about heart rate somewhere between 50 and 75%, you're going to be metabolizing more body fat. On the other side, 75 to 100%, you're metabolizing more sugar. So if we think about low intensity days being more fat metabolism, high intensity days being more sugar metabolism, both of these energy systems, to really get the goals you're looking for of losing body fat and not losing muscle tissue, we need to optimize both of these. Now, what ends up happening many times, let's say you're training for this hour-long session. Now, after about 30 minutes, which is where we draw the line, our high-intensity training sessions are 30 minutes maximum for a specific reason, and the reason is this. Once you're at these high-intensity zones for prolonged periods of time, everybody thinks they're in there metabolizing body fat, and this is not what the body is going to do. The body wants to use carbohydrate sources. The body wants sugar to metabolize as fuel, especially at high energy zones. There's very little oxygen in the body, and you're in the low to no fat metabolism, especially doing a high intensity session. So, if we have gone through all our glycogen stores in our muscle and liver, let's say in 30 minutes of that session, especially after you've been doing this for a couple of weeks, you've depleted your glycogen stores, and as you go into that session, you're probably removed carbohydrates, so you're running on pretty low reserves of glycogen. What's going to happen is your body is going to start converting non-carbohydrate sources into a carbohydrate, and this process is called gluconeogenesis or glyconeogenesis. It's the formation of new glycogen in the muscle and in the liver from non-carbohydrate sources, such as protein and also fat. Now, we like the idea of fat being turned into a carbohydrate to remove it, but your body also knows that maybe, it doesn't want to let go of that fat in those zones, especially if we're in high stress elements. If you've been doing this prolonged day in, day out, 1,000-calorie burn, gauntlet type training, and are also probably reducing calories at the same time, your body is not going to let go of that fat so easily. What it will let go of is muscle tissue. So it takes the protein from muscle tissue and turns it into a carbohydrate source. So with that being said, let's just take easy math once again, and let's say our 1,000 calories, the first half hour we burned 500 calories. The second half hour was 500 calories. What if the second half hour of this session, folks, was 500 calories from muscle tissue? Now think about this. If 3,500 calories was a pound of fat, it would also add up to a pound of muscle tissue. So if I'm losing 500 calories from muscle tissue every single workout, you can see that pretty clearly I'm losing weight, but I keep losing my muscle mass. Now, if you don't know this is happening because you don't have body composition, this is a serious problem, folks, because what will happen is this catabolism will continue to go down, and it will dig you into a metabolic hole. When you start eating or training at a lower intensity again, there's less muscle tissue to burn the same amount of calories as before, and what happens? You get fatter. This is at the heart of yo-yo dieting, and this is the heart of why we're telling people you got to get out of that mindset, folks. Caloric expenditure is as outdated as the Thigh Master, and anybody pushing it does not understand the science of how to truly get your body to turn into a fat burning machine. So the last thing we want to do, folks, is do a workout that's promoting muscle loss. We keep reducing that muscle, folks. Guess what is going to creep back up tenfold? That's right, body fat. We want to keep that from happening at all costs. Okay, guys, so the next point I want to make is about the central nervous system. So, like I had mentioned before, the body has many different energy systems, and each one has a different time that it needs in order to recover. And this is why at Studio 2 we really recommend the sequence of HIIT, LIT, HIIT, LIT, so we can train 6 days a week as long as we're moving from high intensity days to low intensity days. I want to have days of optimizing sugar metabolism, days of optimizing fat metabolism, and I really don't want to get into the sequential 5 hits in a row or even all lits. Where we want to be is one and then moving to the other. One among many reasons is central nervous system fatigue. And if we look at the day in, day out pounding, the arduous task of these 1,000-calorie burnout sessions, what you're invariably going to experience is utter fatigue. And this is central nervous system fatigue. This is your body is just moved into overtraining. And it usually starts with mental, emotional fatigue. You're not fired up to train anymore. You're not excited. You're having to drag yourself into the gym to do these workouts. The first couple of weeks, you were smoking, you felt great, you were fired up, and now it's just hell to get in the gym and make this happen. Once you have shifted to that gear, folks, once you're in that place of emotional and mental fatigue, you're in central nervous system overload. And the only way to get out of that is to stop training altogether, take a week off, get your act back together, and slowly get back into it again. So a huge issue with this type of training, where there's literally no program design at all, just train as hard as you can, train it every day. That kind of mentality, folks, is going to get you in big trouble. It will lead to central nervous system fatigue. Once you're there, it's a matter of time. It's a matter of time before you get an injury, and now you're in big trouble. All right, guys, last but not least, here at Studio 2, there's a lot of things that make us unique. And one of the things that truly makes us special, we believe that everybody's dream body is a mathematical equation. Now, I'm not trying to dehumanize the situation, and I'm not removing the personal element from it. I want you to think about it in simplistic terms. And when we think about it that way, we truly are able to start moving the individual towards results and have conversations about data and science. Now, with that being said, every single person needs a certain amount of volume. Volume equals sets, reps, exercises, and the amount of weight that they're using. With the volume, there's a certain amount of frequency that everybody needs to get the goals that they're looking for. Frequency is how many times a week do I work with a certain amount of volume. The next thing we look at is intensity, and for us, those are heart rate ranges. Specifically, we're looking at LIT, low intensity days, and high intensity days. Here at Studio 2, we make it as simple as possible. We have classes that are specifically designed to meet each metabolism. So if you come in and we want to start optimizing fat metabolism, we have classes that are designed to do that. We have HIIT classes that are designed to specifically push your anaerobic thresholds and sugar metabolism. All you got to do is walk through the door, and we make it super easy. The next is macro-based nutrition. Your dream body has a certain amount of protein, a certain amount of fat, and a certain amount of carbohydrate. Yes, carbohydrate that you need to fuel your body, to keep muscle tissue on your body, and to starve all that fat. The way we come up with those numbers is through metabolic testing and one of the best body composition analyzers there is. So our conversations are based on science about what's happening on the inside of your body, your specific metabolism, how much lean body mass or muscle tissue you have on your body that we need to fuel. We're not making random guesses here. We're dealing with what is happening on the inside of your body and giving you a recipe for success. So I really hope that this video opens you up a little bit, gets you thinking. It is our purpose to help educate the population as much as possible for people going out there that can't get to us, that are going to other fitness studios and gyms. Challenge your trainers. Challenge your class instructor on the science behind what they're doing and what they're saying, and think about what you're doing. If you're not getting the results and you're working really hard and you're wondering what's going on, watch this video over again. And if there's any questions, anything that we can do for you guys, please don't hesitate. Send us an email, and we'll see you next time.